Do you believe it's possible that if you were able to raise your level of consciousness, that we could have a faster response time in daily activities, daily conversations, and things of that nature? Well, today we will be talking about that. You are now back in tune with Freak Talk. My name is Javante, and today we'll be talking about NTP servers, different states of consciousness, and I have a study about like a 7 second brain delay, which kind of triggered this and kind of led me into different paths and everything of that nature. So let's go ahead and get into it here. So as I was studying for my CCNA, I came across something that's called the NTP. It stands for the Network Time Protocol. For all my tech heads out there, it runs on UDP port 123. So yeah, for all my IT nerds and all of that stuff, that is that. So yeah, NTP server. So, and quick disclaimer, may think this is all BS. Let me please know in the comments, because, this is like different topics and different things of that nature, and it can kind of get a little interesting. So I would like to definitely hear your responses and everything like that. So let's go ahead and get into it. So yeah, NTP servers. This is like servers that control, not like, these are the servers that control time for all the internet, for devices, your devices, switches, routers, everything of that nature. These control time, which is very important because if it's off by a few seconds, your logs and everything of that nature can get messed up when you're trying to go back and identify problems in your networks and everything of that nature. So there's like a hierarchy of NTP servers. It goes from a stratum level of 0 to 15, 0 being the most precise time. That is going to be your atomic clocks, your GPS, your radio clocks. And these are pretty much the servers that control the time. But from those servers, we pretty much bag off into what are called primary servers, and they are stratum level of 1. And so pretty much as you get away from the stratum level of 0, which is your atomic clocks and everything of that nature, you kind of lose a little bit of time. Now, it could be like a few milliseconds and everything of that nature, but it counts. So this is brought me to an idea. All right, so I was actually watching a video by Billy Carson where he spoke about a study being done about how your brain could have a 7 second delay, or when it gets it, they can read in your brain the signal 7 seconds before you actually make that decision. And I have a study here, so I'm going to actually read this article here real quick. Not all of it, but just a little bit. This is from the Max Planck Society. I believe this is actually the study that he was speaking about, and I went and looked it up. So yeah, this study is called the Unconscious Decisions in the Brain. And so here we go. It says, already several seconds before we consciously make a decision, its outcome can be predicted from unconscious activity in the brain. This is shown in a study by scientists from the Max Planck Institute for Human Cognitive and Brain Sciences. Boom, 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 boom. So the researchers from the group of Professor John Dylan Haynes used a brain scanner to investigate what happens in the human brain just before a decision is made. It says, many processes in the brain occur automatically and without involvement of our consciousness. So this prevents our mind from being overloaded by simple routine tasks. But when it comes to decisions, we tend to assume they are made by our conscious mind. This is questioned by our current findings. So this is the study here. So in the study, participants could freely decide if they wanted to press a button with their left hand or the right hand. They were free to make this decision whenever they wanted, but had to remember at which time they felt they had made up their mind. The aim of the experiment was to find out what happens in the brain in the period just before the person felt the decision was made. So the researchers found that it was possible to predict from brain signals which option participants would take already 7 seconds before they consciously made their decision. Normally, researchers look at what happens when the decision is made, but not at what happens several seconds before. The fact that decisions can be predicted so long before they are made is an astonishing finding. So, this is not a woo-woo. This is not crazy stuff. This is not something I'm pulling off the top of my mind. This is an actual study that they did. So, what does that mean, right? So it means that our brain is making the decision, and then we're acting on that decision. So is our conscious mind actually making that decision? Are we actually making that decision? So later in this article, they kind of go on like, about free will and everything of that nature. So how I'm looking at that, right? So I like the NTP and this doesn't directly correlate, right? Because it's kind of two different things. But I kind of look at the NTP servers as a way to visualize it. And so I'm like, okay, so it's a hierarchy of time. So let's say we can raise our consciousness, right? So now we can go into the consciousness thing. So these are different things that I've come across as studying metaphysics, studying consciousness, everything of that nature. They say there's different levels of consciousness. So I have this here from Bob Proctor. He speaks of 7 levels of awareness. One being animal, which is fight or flight, react versus respond. So so that's kind of like reacting instead of responding. So you just kind of make a decision. You don't really think about it. You don't sit and think and respond like what's the word I'm looking for? You don't respond, I guess, with the thought. You just react from your instincts. And then 2 is mass, which is pretty much following the crowd and they kind of conform. 3 is aspiration, and that is desire without action. 4 is individual, which is expressing uniqueness. 5 is discipline, which is giving yourself a command and keeping it. 6 is experience, which is real learning. And then 7 is mastery, when you respond versus react. So this is not anything crazy either. They say there's different level of consciousness, different level of stages of consciousness. And that brings me to this. So I do meditation and everything of that nature. And the more that I've meditated, I've kind of found that I can see in myself that when I first started, like, okay, I may be like a little delayed sometimes in my responses. I became aware of that. And then I could see in my conversations with people that I could see that people might have a little delay in response and everything of that nature. And don't get me wrong, sometimes we need to think, right? Respond before we react, about things that are being said. But it just kind of makes me think like, okay, so if I can raise my consciousness to a level, can I be able to, I guess, in my daily activities, be able to make quicker decisions? From meditation, I figured out that my mind kind of fires quicker. I can do things at a quicker pace. I can think clearer and everything of that nature. So this is kind of just, a correlation I found. Maybe it correlates, maybe it doesn't. You let me know what you think in the comments below. Like I said earlier, yeah, I don't really think I got more to go with this. This was pretty much where I wanted to go. Like I said, this is a new series that I'm kind of doing. I'm taking tech concepts and kind of trying to bring an understanding through tech stuff, through technologies and everything of that nature. It's helped me. So when I was studying technology and studying for my CCNA or my Security Plus, all these certifications, I could it triggered things like when I would like study metaphysics and everything of that nature. So maybe it can help one of you all. Like I say, that's all I want to do. If I can spark one thought in somebody's mind, then my job is complete. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We were talking about NTP servers. We're talking about different levels of consciousness and a 7-second delay in the brain. I will leave these links that I was referring to in the comment sections below. Like, comment, subscribe, all those good things. Like I said, reach out to me if you want to collaborate, if you have a podcast, if you possibly want to start a podcast, if you want to do anything of that nature, let me know. I'm looking for collaboration. I'm looking for people to build with. And it's always collaboration over competition, like Billy Carson says. And yeah, that's what another video of Freak Talk. My name is Javante. Tune in for more videos like this. I will be doing more things of this nature and getting these things clear and more understandings and trying to just give people more understanding on metaphysics and everything of that nature, because it is a kind of a topic that is, I don't feel like it's discussed enough. And when you bring it up, people are kind of like, I don't really know what you're talking about. So I'm trying to find different things to that we use in the real world to kind of give a visualization of metaphysics and things that I've learned through meditation and through mindfulness and through reading and through study. Uh, I've come to a higher level of understanding, in my opinion. You know, who knows? Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, let me know what you think. And till next time, take care, be blessed, and I'm gonna see you on the next video. I'm gonna holler at you.